Welcome to Back Passt with Ras, and this is your host Ras, bringing to you a brand new episode. Spotlight on them. We're going to talk about an event that is coming up on Sunday at Cine Leisure in Singapore. It's called Match Day Football Market. That's what the event is called. And it's brought to you by Cult Fave Football Shirts. So I have with me a co-founder of Cult Football Shirts. Did I get that right? Cult?
Yes, correct. Yeah. I
Fave.
yeah,
Yes. So, Mr. Kelvin Lee, how are you doing, Kelvin?
fine, doing very well.
Yeah, it's been a long time. We've known each other for a long time, I must tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been pretty long. Close to a decade now, I think. Yeah, since
Yeah,
we've
yeah,
known.
almost.
Yeah. So, Kel, tell me about this Cult Faith football shirts. What's it all about? Tell us about your inspiration,
All right.
where it's coming
Uh,
from. When
yeah,
did it
Cult
start?
Fave Football Shirt is the ultimate destination for football nostalgia lovers, specializing in rare vintage football jerseys. And for us, one thing we want to celebrate is the cult heroes of the 90s and the early 2000s. That's why our shirts mostly have like obscure football shirts like Charlton Athletic with Paulo Di Canio. It was started in July last year with my partner, and it started as a personal decluttering project that for myself to clear some of my old football shirts. So we realized that there's a market for it and there's a value overseas as well. So we decided to let's start this and like see where it goes. Yeah.
Okay. So as you mentioned, the era that you've mentioned, it fits perfectly with our show because Back Pass is all about that, the football in the 90s and the noughties. We love talking about that. If you
Yeah.
followed us, you would see that, weekly we will always feature a football shirt and let everyone, see who they remember of when they see that shirt. And as you know as well, if you look at me, I've got old Manchester United jersey from the 2002 2003 season. This is my own
Mm,
personal one, so it's not replica, not
mm,
something I've bought. You're a United fan as well, so that's why
yeah.
I'm wearing this for you. So this fits perfectly with us and our the demographics of our listeners and viewers as well. So,
Yeah.
Kelvin, football shirts, big thing. It's also a big thing now. I notice a lot of young fellas are buying jerseys from the 90s of teams in the 90s. Some
Yeah.
I've been out and about. I've seen a kid. I think he's probably maybe primary school age, and he's got a
Mm.
AC Milan jersey with Maldini on the back. So it's
Yeah.
very
So
it's trendy. I would say it's in trend now. Have you noticed
for
that?
the there's a uptick in like the 90s nostalgia, the Y2K, and also recently we have the boots only summer that's coming up where people go onto the streets wearing football boots.
Oh,
So there's a football related trend that is always popping up in fashion. And
okay.
it started with the bloke call in back in 2023, where the Gen Z kids are wearing like old football kits and styling it like the like British football hooligan style. So there's a relaunch of that and it has stayed quite true to form. But right now I feel like football brands are catching on it and they have a lot of like re-releases of their old football shirts in the
Yeah,
past.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely ongoing very strong and it will last for another half decade. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully. And for your kids as well, where do you get all these shirts from?
Usually international collectors and trusted resellers of eBay. And for us, we also travel overseas. So we do hit the thrift stores locally and overseas to find any undervalued shirts. Yeah. So we do our own repairs as well to do some touch up for the football shirts. And they have a higher value after that. It's more about value restoration rather than like make a quick resell and sell it at a like lesser value cost. Yeah.
So in that sense, when you go overseas or when you buy it off someone and there's some wear and tear on the jersey, you touch it up, make it as good as
Mm.
new, and then you sell it.
Yes, usually it's the sponsors that is a bit like faded and stickiness on it. So it started off also because of my own personal experience with going to a local restorer. So what happens was I have a sticky shirt sponsor which I needed repair, and I've seen a lot of like overseas UK shirt restorers, and they have a very impeccable track record of completely repairing a new shirt to make it look as good as new by cleaning off. But I feel like Singapore, there's not much going on that is like not a lot of restaurants that tout their services. So for me, is I dive deep into the restoration part of it, the process, and learn that it's actually quite therapeutic in like this day and age where your day jobs are like uh, the pressures of it,
Yeah.
and it helps you as a therapy to clean up and make your own pressings and like restore the value of it.
Okay. And when now this other question I got to ask you as well, because I'm also interested in old kits. I've lost some over the years.
Mm.
Either I've outgrown it or just I've given it away foolishly. So,
Mm.
I'm trying to recover some of those kits that I love. So, Kelvin, I gotta ask you this question. There are many different platforms now selling jerseys that are from the 90s, from the noughties, because of course, as
Mm.
we all know, it's trending now. So I guess the market is bigger, is probably more profitable. And how do you determine which is authenticate, which is a replica, which is like maybe third grade third grade replica even?
Okay, for the eye test for the third grade, it's very easy to tell by the stitching and the badge. Because usually it's like the workmanship is quite poor. So that is a given, so you can easily spot by the eye test. So for those like high grade football shirts, there's always a job tag inside. Like let's for example, this Nigeria 2006 shirt. So on the side there is the job tag. Those are only available in the mid 2000 shirts, so you can see it here. So what you need to do is just go on Google, search the like for this is Adidas. So you just type Adidas and the product code, and you go to the images, and if all the images shown is the same shirt, is usually authentic. Yeah. So for the 90s will be a bit tricky. 90s because they don't do authentication because the market for bootleg is not there at all. So for Umbro, they have a way because the tag at the back, all these kind of a job tag, they have a very intricate stitching involved in their workmanship. So for the Umbro, if you were to look across it, they will have like small pot marks on it. The pockmark is very delicate and easy to see. And for the remakes of the 90s Umbro today, right? If you want to spot the fakes, usually the fakes would have like smooth Umbro stitching, or the pockmark is very white. That is very poor workmanship. So that's one hack for Umbro shirts from the 90s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Price as well. The price at which it's been sold.
Yes. Price is definitely a key factor because if it's cheap, usually it may not be a good deal. Like it's not authentic. Because authentic shirts, the seller will know the value of it to not price it down. Yeah.
Okay. And what's a good price range you would say? So because on the other hand, also you don't want to
Mm.
get ripped off.
For price range wise, if you're talking about the 90 shirt, usually if it's authentic, the cheapest price will be roughly about 200 to maybe 350, 400. And if it's like still very new, it can fetch about 700 onwards. Yeah.
So in that sense, if I do sell my jerseys, these ones,
Mm.
I could possibly sell it for like that kind of amount.
Yes. For second hand, usually, for this Man United shirt that you're wearing, it's definitely highly sought after because it's more associated with the likes of David Beckham in the 2002-2003 season.
Yeah.
So if you were to sell it, it can still fetch roughly around 250. It is in a very good condition as well. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And this among all the shirts that you have, what is the most popular or highly requested one?
The most highly requested one that we have interest in is those Umbro shirts from the 2000, the England, Manchester United, and recently we have someone asking for a 98 Japan shirt. Yeah, that right now we do not have it, but it's
It's
been
something for it.
asked quite often. Yeah.
Okay. And do all the jerseys or shirts that you sell have a number and name printed on it?
Most of it, yes. Usually when I decided to like pick up a shirt to resell, I try to find something that has a story behind it. What player that I can put on the back that is like recognizable for like fans our age, and also grew up in the 2000s so that they will recognize those players and they have watched them play. For example, is like Charlton Athletic. Because recently I got one from 2003, 2004, and the first player that uh, was associated to it to me is Paulo Di Canio. So that was the name I decided to put on that shirt. Yeah.
That's interesting.
So yeah, that's very fun because you have a story to tell with it.
Okay. I would think
Mm.
Charlton Athletic would be someone like Jason Yule. Yeah.
Jason Yu as well.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
had him there, right? Um,
Yeah.
any kit that is your favorite?
Um, there's one that I had since I was 16. It was my first authentic
Wow.
football shirt. It was the Manchester United 2006-7 home shirt. Because
Uh, uh-huh.
it was the first time that a football brand had a nod towards the nostalgia, and they have this kit that is like modeled after the 1958 Man United team kit.
Mm.
And yeah, it was quite interesting with the shield with the badge. Yeah,
Do
and
you
I
have
got
it
the
with
long
you now?
sleeve. Not now. It's at some other place, but I have kept it in pristine condition.
Nice.
So yeah, might might keep
Long
it
sleeve
for
as
good.
well.
Yeah, it's so hard to find now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Any name behind it?
it was my name initially, but I
Okay.
got it removed. So if I were to add some value to it, the obvious player would be Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah.
Okay, just talking about that as well. So is the kits that you get, are they all without name and numbers and they are then printed with name and numbers by you?
Yes. Usually that's the
Okay.
case for us. Yeah.
So if someone requests for just a plain kit, no name number, can you meet that request?
We can still source for it, but usually the reason that attracts them to a certain shirt is because it's not the usual top 10% of football. So, like for example, the Nigeria shirt earlier, you want to find it is very difficult to find, and it's also for someone to be attracted to it, it will have to be the player, and the player that I got on is Okosha.
Mm.
So it's something that they recognize the player, they recognize the shirt. The shirt is not commonly found, and therefore they will have an urge to like get it for their own collection. So it attracts a different kind of collector rather than your usual Real Madrid, Barcelona, that kind of football shirt collector.
Okay. Like for me personally, some shirts I don't want to have a number on it, name and number, because
Mm.
I want it for the design. and of course the memories associated to the team that wore that jersey, what it achieved, or maybe my personal memory as a kid wearing that jersey, and also I that this is another probably another angle where someone like me would rather just have the kit alone without
Mm.
numbers. Some, of course, you want the names and numbers on it because
Yeah.
the name and numbers make that jerseys more special.
Yeah, usually for the fans of the certain clubs, they will rather have it clean because maybe they do not want to be like seen as the a fan of the player alone. But sometimes I feel that it's the players that make the club great. So you can love a club, but sometimes certain players, the even the lesser known players, they deserve a shout of their own, and it's quite nice a feeling if like you have a player that is not the big name player of the club, but their service to the club has been there for almost a decade, and those are the cult favorites that we talk about that you they want to be celebrated as well, and they deserve to be celebrated as well.
Okay.
So for fans who would rather have a clean shirt, it's completely understandable. And if they were to ask for this particular shirt, and what we can do is to help them source for it as well.
Okay. And like I have this jersey, this kit with me right now that I'm wearing.
Mm.
If, for example, somewhere down the line, I say I want to put a name and number behind it, can you arrange for that? Can you do that?
Yes, no problem. It's usually the Champions League font that people are more like fond of for this shirt. Yeah, so it's doable from our end.
Okay. That's great.
Mm.
Now on the jerseys as well, all these kits that you are selling, I keep coming back to jerseys. I know jerseys, the
Yeah.
term jerseys is an American term. Is that right?
Mm.
And kit is more British. Shirts, kit,
Yeah,
more British, right?
yes, definitely.
But in Singaporean context, we always say jerseys.
Jerseys, yes.
Any idea why?
Um, I believe it's the syllable like easier to pronounce, like jersey, jerseys, football shirts, kids. But like if we were to say a shirt, somebody will recognize it as a normal T-shirt
Yes.
rather than a
Basically,
football shirt.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Now
for
that
us, we
we
have that
get into it,
separation.
yeah, correct.
Mm,
Now that we get into it, then we know, okay, oh, these are the terms and what it means as well. So we call it football shirt. So we know it refers to jerseys as what we would call it.
yeah.
Do you keep a lot of stock of one kind of jersey, or is it only based on request? Like maybe a person say, uh, I want this kit, and you go search for that kit and then deliver it to the person.
For us, we try not to keep multiples of one. At best, we have two of the same design, but we try not to have the same sizing so that we have different customers that will want the same shirt. But we try to keep it to one shirt for certain clubs design. Yeah, so it will make it more, I would say, sought after.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
understand.
and we have requests for certain shirts, so we will try to source it for them and like help them to repair the shirt and pass it off to them. Yeah.
When a
So
person
we take in.
when a person requests for a shirt, do
Mm.
you collect the payment first and then search for the shirt?
No, it's usually more like a consultation, and we will search for it out of goodwill. Then, if they want it, they will get it from us. If not, we can keep it as a stock and sell it for like future value. Yeah.
And when you talk about shirts as well, anything that is very rare, not a common team's kit that you are selling or have sourced out
Mm,
for.
the one kit that we keep looking out for is those rare shirts with like food branding and also like gaming sponsorship. So like Auxier from 2002 to 2004, they have PlayStation 2 as its as a sponsor. And
Arsenal had it as
also,
well.
yeah, Arsenal also have Sega. Then
Mm.
there's Fiorentina with Nintendo. We try
Yeah,
to
yeah.
keep a lookout for it, but the authentication wise is a bit more difficult to like justify the cost that we are taking on. And also, like for Sheffield Wednesday, I have a couple of Chupa Chups sponsor. So
Mm.
those are the sponsors that make the shirt more valuable because you don't see them easily today in today's game. Everything is like betting sponsor. Even like the shirt I'm wearing right now is the Fulham. It's the
Yeah,
first shirt that is
Pizza Hut.
first English club that is sponsored by a betting sponsor.
Oh, not the
Yeah.
Pizza Hut one.
No,
You're not
no,
wearing the
no.
Pizza Hut one.
It's
Okay.
the same shirt, but it's just the different sponsor.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Any kit that you have found to be elusive, very difficult to get, something that you want to get but it's difficult to get.
Uh, anything from the 90s with Man United.
Oh,
Those are pretty hard to find, and even if you do find it, the price is very exorbitant.
exorbitant. Yeah. Okay, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Any local team kits that you have, or would you want to search for, or any requests from people for local team kits?
Right now I have Tampines Rovers from 2002, the Singapore Cup winning final shirt. Is I believe it was match one, and I also have this 2006 Tampines Rovers shirt as well.
Where you
So
get
those
it
are
from?
my I search around, mostly Carousel because those were like the earlier platforms locally to source. Yeah, and another one that I had and I saw away was the Tampines Rovers Umbro away shirt. It was from 1999 2000 period. Yeah, it should be 99 with the Umbro. It was so rare, but I decided to part with it in clearing exercise. Yeah.
And I believe you're a Tampines Rovers fan.
Yeah, I'm a huge Tampines Rovers fan. It's like my boyhood club, and I've been like going to games since I was like 11. Yeah,
At the old Tampines Stadium as well.
old Tampines Stadium. Yeah, brought back a lot of nostalgia.
Yeah. Okay. The Singapore 1994 jersey, the one that they won the Malaysia Cup in, has it been requested for?
Um, Not much because I don't have the sources to search for those Singaporean football club shirts and the national team shirt. But I hope in future we will bring in more of those so that we can like have a more wide ranging stock in our profile. Yeah.
Collection. Mm.
Mm.
That will certainly be one of the challenges, right? To get local football shirts.
Yeah, because Singapore football in those days they don't do merchandising quite well. So a
Yeah.
lot of the shirts are usually match worn. So it makes it even harder to find and more precious about it when you do find it. Yeah.
Yeah, certainly. That's a pity. Any
Yeah.
other challenge that you face in this journey that you're on?
So far, right now we have in Singapore there is a huge undervaluing of football shirts. Everyone wants something that they like, but price wise, everyone is always looking for a good bargain deal. Yeah, but main thing is to find the right shirt at the right size and also the pricing as well. We all get it, but the severe devaluing of the shirts because a lot of us like we have football shirts from like maybe the last decade that maybe we do not want it anymore and we just sell it like at a very cut price deal. So
Mm.
right now with the resurgence of bloat core and there is a like inflation of pricing for those old shirts again. So some of them is like I would say, for example, the Roma shirt from 2013 14 is their in-house shirt. Right
Okay.
now, the shirt is very hard to find and is fetching prices of $500 at least. Yeah, so it's severely undervalued here. And I have a friend who had a home shirt and he decided to give it away.
Oh.
And he's regretting that now. So I was like telling him, wow, this shirt could fetch about at least 300 for a second hand. Yeah.
Oh, so that means even those that are probably from the last decade, the 2010s, are
Mm.
also in demand.
It's in demand, but I feel like since the late 2010s, there has been an oversupply of football shirts because now you have the fan version and you have the player
Player.
version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And yeah.
those are the first shirts to be like devalued in the first 5 years of their lifespan. But maybe 10, 15 years, 20 years down the road, the valuation of it will inflate back up again. So nostalgia is, it depends. It's a time based thing for valuation.
What's your future plans for Cult Fave football shirts?
For us is right now to build a community. So we have this pop up coming up, and we will be doing a lot more pop ups along the way. Either we organize it or we participate in those like marketplace style of pop up. And right now in Singapore, this is a trend as well. There's a lot of pop ups every other weekend, so you can easily spot us as well. Then after this coming event, we intend to like uh, host a few more and at a bigger venue as well, so that we can bring in more vendors from the region in Southeast Asia to join us. Yeah.
Now tell us about the event that's happening this Sunday.
The event that's happening this Sunday is a celebration of football because it's the end of the season weekend, and there's a lot of football programs around nationwide. So we decided to start this football market because we have been following other IG profiles, and they have been signing up like a lot of pop-ups in Thailand and in Indonesia. So we look at it like there's a vacuum here in Singapore. So nobody's organizing this. So we decided to take on the challenge and invite friends and make friends with other vendors as well. And we have football shirts, trading cards, football boots, and also football related services as well, that the vendors that we are bringing in.
Like what? What are the services?
We have although they do not have a booth, but we have this 1896 travels. They are a football tour organizing company
Match
that
day affairs, is it?
something like a match day affair, but it's a separate company. And
Okay, okay.
yeah, they have tapped us to help them like with a giveaway that they want to do as well because they couldn't participate in this, and to widen their branding, so they tap into this football market. We we have done this giveaway before, so we are doing the giveaway in the build up towards this football market thing.
Okay, and where can people find you on Sunday?
We will be at Cine Leisure Projector. So we will be at the end closer to the intermission bar. No spoilers bar, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Which floor is that?
It's on the fifth floor. We have quite a few big brands as well. We have Asha Football from KL, and also Sunday Football, also from Malaysia. And also we have LCS selling their merch on it.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
So, okay, that is interesting indeed. So, if you are a lover of football nostalgia, merchandise, football services, football kits as well, you know, head down to Cine Leisure on Sunday. Meet our friend here, Kelvin. He
Yeah.
looks like this, but he's actually quite friendly, nice guy. So look for him, and you can all, of course, get your. You can scroll through. I'm sure you can browse through, look at what they have on offer. If you are interested, you can always put in your bid for anything on sale, or you want to request for something. You can always do that, right?
Yes, we have event posters on sale as well. We have a T-shirt of the
I like the.
poster.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, we it was a tie-in with this Mexican artist called Charles Drawin. Yeah, he
Yeah.
will have his own booth as well. He is quite a talented artist and has done um, art pieces with Real Madrid
Mm.
with this branding called High Sense. Yeah,
High
and
sense.
yes, and he has helped us with the design, and we have also tied in with projector to with their programming. They are showing um, Shaolin soccer in Cantonese version in its
Mm.
full original language, which in back when they were released 20 years ago, it was a Chinese dub usually. Yeah,
Mandarin dub.
Mandarin dub. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Nice. So there's a lot of things to look out for on Sunday at Scene Leisure. So if you're free, please head down. Oh, what time does it start?
It starts from 12 and it ends at 8 p.m.
Okay, from 12 to 8, head down to
Yeah.
Projector Cine Leisure. Catch my friend Kelvin there. Kelvin, before we go, I was wondering
Yeah.
as well, what has been the most expensive shirt that you've sold?
Oh, the most expensive shirts that we have sold is the England 2000 home kit. It was
1,000.
David Beckham.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was a David Beckham shirt. So the 2002 Umbro as well, the same the World Cup kit with
Mm,
Beckham.
mm.
I try to price it as competitively as the European market. So in some sense, it's not the most expensive. It's still uh, a good price range for it.
Will you be able to share how
It's
much you sold it for?
it's about 260.
Mm.
Yeah, we
And the
try
buy?
to match the European market instead of like the local markets.
Okay. The buyer, is it a local guy? Are most of your buyers local or
Most
from
of them are
Asian?
local.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, before we go, can you just share with us where people can find you on social media?
We are on Instagram. Can just search Cult Fave Football Shirts and you will find us there.
Okay, only on Instagram.
Instagram, we have a website on Shopify.
Ah,
Yeah, so usually that is catered to the international audience, so they can uh, order their shirts off there.
all right. Okay. So if you need the links, they are down below. I'll share it with you. So go to the links and visit my friend Kelvin. So
Yeah,
Kelvin, thanks a lot for taking your time to explain to us about what you are doing here at Cult Fave Football Shirts. It's a bit of a mouthful, so trying
yeah,
to get a hang of it. But it's been really interesting. As you all know, the what you're doing and what we are doing are aligned. So certainly our listeners and viewers would be interested. But
yeah,
I hope you take out the cash as well if you're interested to go for it, or just maybe you want to restore. So you have your old kits, it's not in good condition, you can always just restore it and wear it good as new. So, yep. Kelvin, any last words?
Thank you for having me. I hope to see your listeners turn up at the event. We have a lot of things going on. We have DJ sets coming up by our good friend Kenneth and James.
Mhm.
So it will be a festival of football.
All right. So Sunday Festival of Football at Cine Leisure.
Yeah,
Yep. All right. This is Ras here signing out. Cheers.
right.